Good evening and welcome to WCBM Sports coverage of Michigan's men's basketball. Tonight the Wolverines host the University of Texas Longhorns. The Longhorns are coming off a win against Alabama, and Michigan is coming off a big win against Kennesaw State. Today I'm joined by Andrew Hausman, and Texas coach Shaka Smart is someone who Michigan coach John Beilein has experience playing against. Michigan beat Shaka Smart in the 2013 NCAA tournament while Shaka Smart was the coach of VCU. And Shaka Smart's known for that full course press defense. So what does Michigan have to do to beat this tenacious Texas defense?
Well, let's just put it out there that this press is nothing compared to the press of VCU. VCU was a well-trained press with the players recruited into the system, equipped to play that full-court press. This Texas team hasn't reached that level yet. They're not forcing turnovers at the same rate that Shaka Smart's VCU teams always did, and they're not quite up to that same level that VCU's defense was. That being said, this is not the same Michigan team that played VCU and dismantled them in that 2013 tournament. That had a lot of experienced ball handlers. Trey Burke, Nick Stauskas, Spike Ulrich, all who can handle the ball. That being said, there is some experience on this team. Zach Irvin, Derek Walton can definitely handle the ball. And really the X factor, I think, is Xavier Simpson being able to come in, get some minutes, spell Derek Walton, and be able to handle the ball and really just get Walton some rest, which that was something Beilein talked about pregame.
Yeah, and Xavier Simpson, the true freshman, has been playing a lot of minutes. He'll be an interesting player to watch for sure. And on the other hand, what does Michigan's defense match up against Texas's offense?
Well, I think Michigan does do a good job locking down the three-point line, which is something Texas has really struggled with all year long. They're shooting very poorly, only 27% from three as a team. And I think Michigan can really lock them down there, force them to get to the hoop and score some buckets. And really what Texas, I think, is going to be doing is trying to get out in transition, get on those fast break points. And now Michigan will have to avoid turnovers, avoid long rebounds, and avoid giving Texas those easy buckets.
So you mentioned Xavier Simpson as the X factor for the Michigan Wolverines. On the other side for Texas, who do you see as their X factor?
I really think it's Andrew Jones, the freshman point guard coming in. He has not played well. He is just about a 1-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio, which is something you never want to see in your point guard. He also can play at the two as well, but he has struggled a little bit getting his feet wet in the college game. But if he can have a big game, light some shots up from downtown, which he really hasn't done all year, even though he showed that at the high school level, Michigan could be in trouble.
Yeah, and another player, you mentioned Andrew Jones, the freshman. Texas also has another highly talented freshman, Jared Allen, who was rated as the top center in high school and now on the Longhorns. And how do you think his play will affect Michigan's bigs in the paint?
He's another guy that's struggled to get settled into the college game as well. But I don't think he'll be able to get too much against this Michigan team. They have the deepest front court we've seen in a long time out of a John Beilein coached team. And the real thing is making him earn his points. He shoots actually better from the field than from the free throw line. He shoots about 56% from the field, only 52% from the free throw line. So if he's going to get an easy bucket, I say take the foul, hammer him, make him earn his points at the line.
All right, the players are starting to take the court. Texas in their alternate black uniforms with orange lettering. Their starters will be Kerwin Roach, Andrew Jones, Tevin Mack, Jared Allen, and Shaquille Clare. Michigan players still in the huddle, but their starters will be Derek Walton, Zach Irvin, DJ Wilson, Muhammad Ali Abdul-Rahman, and Mo Wagner at the center position. What do you think of these Texas alternate uniforms? Usually we're used to seeing the classic burnt orange, but here they come out in black, the orange lettering.
Yeah, I do like these looks. It's a nice Nike look going against a Jordan school in Michigan. Two really nice uniforms both sides. And one thing to point out, this is Texas's first true road game. They played two neutral floor games in New York, lost both of those pretty handily to Northwestern Colorado. This is their first true road game. This is a young team. They lost a lot of experience from last year. We'll see how they react in really their first road environment. It's not very intimidating to say the least, but we'll see how they handle their first road game.
Players set for the tip-off is going to be Jared Allen versus DJ Wilson, right in the middle of the block M. The refs are having a quick discussion, talking to the players. Student section's getting up, and we're about underway. Tip goes to Texas. It's corralled by Kerwin Roach as he sets up the offense, crosses the timeline, passes it to Tevin Mack, gives it to Claire, back to Mack on the wing. It's picked off by DJ Wilson. He corrals it and gives it to Rockman. Rockman now crossing the timeline, gives it to Walton. Walton to Wilson on the wing. Wilson scans the court, gives it to Mo Wagner at the top of the key. Wagner dribbles back to Wilson. Wilson hands it off to Rockman, 15 on the shot clock. Gives it to Zach Irvin on the wing. Irvin dribbles back to Wilson at the top, back to Irvin. 8 on the shot clock, takes a pick from Wagner. Irvin drives, nowhere to go. Great D by Mack, chucks up a shot, and that's no good, rebounded by Claire. Kerwin Roach takes it up the timeline, guarded by Walton, back to Claire at the top. Gives it to Jones. Jones drives to the middle, and it's blocked by Wilson. Ball remains with Texas.
Yeah, we've seen 2 offensive possessions for Texas and 2 great defensive plays by DJ Wilson, using his lateral quickness. The key for him is staying on the floor, avoiding that foul trouble.
Texas to inbound the ball, gives it to Roach on the corner, swings back to Jones. Jones dribbling, scanning the court, picked off by Derek Walton. Derek Walton has an uncontested fast break, and he converts at the other end. 2-0 Michigan as Roach takes it up the court. Crosses the block M. Directs the offense. Gives it in to Jared Allen. Back to Jones. And gives it up to Roach. Roach now has 10 on the shot clock. Drives left, nothing there. Guarded by Rockman. Shoots a prayer. And it's rebounded by Wilson, knocked out of bounds by Jared Allen, but the ball will remain in Michigan's possession. And it looks like, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, they're actually going to overrule that. They're going to say DJ Wilson was the last guy to touch it. I agree with that call. Just kind of got lazy on the defensive boards and let that one trickle out of bounds.
So the crowd not happy with the call, but the refs say it will remain with the Texas Longhorns. Kerwin Roach going to inbound it. Texas setting up in a box. Good defense, nowhere to go. Finally has to give it up to Andrew Jones. Andrew Jones shoots a 3 with 3 seconds left, and it's good. A deep 3 by Andrew Jones, the freshman. And now we're seeing a little bit of the press. Derek Walton fouled hard by Andrew Jones at midcourt.
So that's Andrew Jones, only his 6th made 3, and that was from way downtown, several feet from behind the arc. He really has to just get up a shot with only 3 seconds left on the shot clock, but able to drain it. And like I said pregame, if he could start hitting some shots, Michigan could be in trouble.
This Eric Davis, the sophomore from Saginaw, Michigan, checks in the game for the Longhorns. DJ Wilson out the ball at the wing. Gives it to Wagner at the top. Wagner drives left, nowhere to go, defended by Claire. Double teamed, kicks it out to Wilson for the short jumper, and that's good.
Great find there by Mo Wagner.
Texas quickly brings it up court. Kerwin Roach swings it to Claire. Claire to Jones. Sorry, that's Mack. Mack gives it back to Roach. Roach drives left. Nothing there, defended by Walton. Kicks it back to Mack, and now it's given to Davis to set up the offense. 13 on the shot clock, defended by Rockman. Davis drives left, pull-up jumper. No good, that was rims off, contested by Wilson. Derek Walton now controlling it for the Wolverines at midcourt. Post, gives it to Wagner for the post-up. Spin move against Claire. Spins back, nice move, no good. Texas with the rebound. Kerwin Roach now commanding the offense, defended by Walton. Takes a screen from Claire. Turns it down, still with the ball at midcourt. Gives it to Jared Allen, who surveys the court, defended by the lanky DJ Wilson. Hands it off to Mack. Mack drives right. Defended well by Michigan, no good, rebound Wilson. Walton takes a screen from Wilson. Gives it to Wagner. Wagner tells something to Irvin, hands it off to Irvin. Irvin drives left, nothing there, takes it back. Swings it to Rockman on the wing. Rockman drives right. Baseline cut by Wilson, and an uncontested jam for Wilson.
Michigan's defense has been solid so far. Let's see if they keep it up on this possession.
Roach drives, nothing. Kicks it out to Allen. Allen gives it to Davis. Allen posting up against Wilson on the block. Quick move, dribbles it off his foot. Rockman dives for the ball, and it's Michigan's ball. Derek Walton crossing the timeline. Gives it to Rockman, back to Wilson, back to Wagner. Wagner with a three. That's no good. Rebounded by Allen for Texas.
I think Walton should have taken that shot. He had an open look top of the key.
Roach now against Walton. Swings it to Mack. Mack drives, nothing there. Kicks it to Roach in the corner. Roach drives, stopped by Wagner, and looks like there's going to be a call, and it's out of bounds. Michigan ball. This brings us to the first under 16-minute timeout.
And going into that timeout, Mo Wagner looked over to the crowd, got them really fired up. Don't know what that's all about, but he's excited to play. I think he's a little disappointed by the turnout here. There's entire sections that are empty here at Chrysler Center, only about half full if you're being generous. Capacity, I would guess about 4,500 to 5,000. But Mo Wagner's fired up, and he's played well so far. I've really been impressed with his defense on the big man, Claire. I mean, he was the one posting up Claire, and Claire really hasn't had anything going on the other side offensively. He has the size advantage. He did cut down significantly over the offseason, losing 30 pounds, but he didn't really post up Wagner at all. And the other hand, Wagner had a nice look, just couldn't get the easy bucket to go.
Yeah, Wagner is someone who's been playing really well. Didn't really see many minutes last year. Has really stepped up in that center position. And as you look, as he was pumping up the crowd, there's a fan with the German flag right there. So maybe that's why. But he certainly has been the energy guy for Michigan. Michigan leading 6-3 over the Texas Longhorns with a little under 15 minutes to go. What kind of things have you seen for Michigan's early three-point lead?
I've really been impressed with the defense here from Michigan. They've only given up 3 points, so that really was a prayer from Jones, really just on a last-second shot, had to get a shot up. And I was really impressed with their defense. They really haven't been giving up any driving lanes and really just getting a hand in the face. Texas really isn't doing anything offensively. Like I said, they're trying to get out in transition, but Michigan's been limiting the turnovers and actually doesn't even have a turnover so far compared to 4 for Texas. On the other hand, Michigan needs to get it going offensively. They had some good looks. They haven't gone down. They had that 3 from Mo Wagner that really would have been a big one, and just aren't getting enough points off the Texas turnovers they're forcing.
And we saw a little bit of that press that we mentioned during the pregame after the made bucket. Unfortunately for Shaka Smart, it was called a foul on Texas. And I guess it seems like they're only able to set up the press after made baskets. And if they're not making baskets, it'll be hard for Texas to set up its press. What do you think Texas has to do to sort of get the game going in their favor in terms of that press, that up-tempo, that sloppy, scrappy type of play?
First off, I think Allen needs to get into the lane. He had one where he did beat Muhammad Ali Abdurrahman into the lane, just wasn't able to finish. Good help defense by DJ Wilson on that play. And I think they're going to need Claire to post up. He's got the size advantage on Mo Wagner, and I don't think he's even actually going to be in the game coming out of this timeout. They're going to go a little smaller look. So, they are going to actually bring in James Banks, but so not as big of a body in there.
Michigan inbounds the ball. Texas brings its full court press, but Walton able to break it single-handedly. Gives it to DJ Wilson on the wing. Wilson swings it to Irvin. Irvin scans, gives it to Wagner at the top of the key. Wagner back to Irvin. Takes a screen from Wagner. Defended by Mack. Takes a mid-range jumper. Blocked by Mack. Wagner gets the rebound and puts it in. Roach quickly brings it up court for the Longhorns. Swings it to Allen. Allen swings it to Davis. Davis drives to the middle. Nothing there. Defended by Rockman. Kicks it back to Roach. Roach kicks it to Mack. Mack drives. Blocked by DJ Wilson, but a foul called on Mo Wagner. His first.
That was one where Wagner really didn't need to come over and help. DJ Wilson had to help defense in between the player and the bucket, and Wagner came from behind, fouled them. Really unnecessary foul and chance for the Longhorns to get a few more points here.
Yeah, DJ Wilson was the primary defender. Wagner came in to commit the foul, and now Tevin Mack is going to get a chance for 2 points. Makes the first one. Mack is only 50% from the line, but he makes the first one.
Yeah, this is a team that does not shoot free throws well. Only 65% as a team, but it looks like they will go 2 of 2 in the early going here.
Mack makes the second one. Texas sets up his full court press. Rockman to inbound to Wilson. Wilson gets it in the corner. Double team quickly. Gives it to Rockman. Rockman loses the handle, and Rockman dives for the ball. going to be out of bounds. Possession stays with Michigan. Longhorn Jared Allen was also there in the scrum, but looks like the possession will remain with Michigan.
Michigan will have 5 seconds to get it across the timeline here. Also, as we saw, a upset going on in the Big Ten, Florida Atlantic knocking off Ohio State.
Michigan breaks the press. Derek Walton breaks single-handedly, kicks it to Rockman for a three, doesn't go in. Rebounded by Donnell, but he loses the handle. Tevin Mack for the Longhorn controls the ball now. Gives it to Jared Allen for the post. Gives it back to Mack. Layup good on a give and go. Texas sets up his press again. Wilson in the middle. Hands it back to Walton. Walton now controls it. Pull up three right into Eric Davis's face. No good. Donnell fights for the rebound, but it looks like it's going to be an over the back on the Wolverines.
Donnell's played 2 offensive possessions. Both have looked terrible, to be honest. I mean, he got a ball taken away from him when he really could have been stronger, controlled the rebound. That time commits a silly foul, goes over the back. Now Texas will have a chance to tie or take the lead.
Yeah, Donnell's a guy who started most of the year at the center position last year. It looks like Wagner's taken over his job this year. But the Longhorns now have the ball. Eric Davis now controlling it, guarded by Rockman. Swings it cross court. That's Yancey who's checked into the game. Kendall Yancey gives it to Eric Banks. Post up, kicks it back to Yancey. Yancey kicks it to Davis for the three in the corner. That's no good. Rebounded by, ball's tipped. Yancey saves it. Jacob Young with the three, no good. Rebounded by Walton. Walton pushing the tempo now. Gives it to Wilson. Wilson finishes strong at the rim.
Wilson 3 for 3 from the field so far. He's got 6 points.
Young now controls it for Michigan. And he's called for a travel. He was defended by Derek Walton.
Big turnover there for Michigan. Texas starting to get in a little bit of an offensive rhythm. Michigan scrambling on defense that last position. Able to avoid some three-pointers. They gave some good looks, but the Texas Longhorns couldn't get them to fall. You see a little change of personnel for both teams here.
Yeah, Duncan Robinson now checks back into the game for his first time, for Michigan. Another player who started last year and now is coming off the bench for John Beeline's Wolverines. Derek Walton brings it across the timeline, hands it off to Zach Irvin. Irvin drives right, nothing there, defended by Mack, gives it back to Walton, who's now defended by Kendall Yancey. Takes a screen from Donnell, goes right, drives alone to the rack, and that's going to be a goaltending call on Banks for the Longhorns. 2 points for Michigan.
Yeah, Banks just showing a little bit of inexperience. He clearly has the physical tools to get that shot, but just a little bit late, Michigan gets the bucket.
Yeah, James Banks, a true freshman, one of the true freshmen of Shaka Smart's big recruiting class this year. As Davis controls it now, defended by Walton, takes a screen from Banks, who we just mentioned. Goes left against Donnell, nothing there. Double team by Walton and Donnell. Chucks up a prayer for a layup, and that one goes in.
Michigan can't complain on that one. They did their job defensively. Just Texas got lucky there.
That cuts the lead, 12-9 now. Michigan still leads with 12 minutes to go. Donnell has the ball at the top of the key. Gives it to Robinson on the wing. Robinson defended by Davis. Back to Walton, defended by Yancey. Takes a screen from Donnell at the top, 10 seconds to go. Kicks it to Irvin. Irvin, quick pull-up jumper, that's no good. Rebounded by Yancey. Yancey looking to push. Picked up by Rockman. Swings to Davis. Davis commanding the offense as he dribbles right, defended by Derek Walton Jr. Gives it to James Banks on the wing, on the elbow, defended by Mark Donnell. Sets a screen. That's Davis who drives right, left against Irvin. Pull-up jumper, that's good. And now Michigan's lead is cut to 1, 12-11 Wolverines.
Back-to-back, Michigan's defense has done its job, forced tough shots, and Longhorns have executed 2 good makes there to cut this lead down to 1.
Rockman now drives right against Jacob Young. Hands it off to Robinson. Robinson kicks to Donnell, swings to Irvin. Robinson now has it under the basket. Quick turnaround. Hook shot by Robinson. That's good. Eric Davis Jr. now has it for the Longhorns. Hands it off to Mack. Mack swings it to Irvin. Swings it. Irvin steals the ball, and now he controls the ball. Kicks to Robinson. Robinson pump fake, drives to the rim, and he's fouled by Mack. 2 points coming up for Duncan Robinson.
Good hustle there by Zach Irvin on defense, able to knock the ball away and then chase it down, win the race to the ball, get it to Duncan Robinson. Everyone in the building thinks Duncan Robinson's going to pull up, take that three, gets his man up in the air, drives to the basket, and he'll have a chance to make two coming out of this under 12 TV timeout.
Yeah, Robinson, Michigan's best three-point shooter, got him on a little pump fake, and he's going to be going to the line for two after the timeout. Score now is 14-11. Michigan still leads with 11-12 left to go in first half. Just a reminder, we are WCBN Sports Radio, 88.3 on the dial. What Michigan in the first TV timeout was up 6-3. The lead still 14-11, but it seems like Texas has sort of been chipping back into the game. What kind of things have you noticed to allow them to get back?
I don't know. Michigan, I think they've done a good job defensively still. We saw going into that first TV timeout, they were really locking down Texas. Texas has had some tough looks these last couple possessions, and they've just gotten a hit. There's that one prayer chucked up in the lane. I believe that was by Mack in the lane. And also, there's another tough shot, a fadeaway jumper from the free throw line that they also got to fall. So if Michigan continue to force those looks all night, I think they'll be okay defensively. That being said, Michigan needs to do a better job offensively, getting more movement, getting more cuts. It's really been pretty stagnant. And they've had Irvin take some of his trademark pull-up jumpers with about 8 seconds left of the shot clock when they've just been passing the ball around for 20 seconds. Not really trying to get to the basket. They need to get to the basket a little more. They've had some success finding the guys on the back cut. So if they can continue to do that, take advantage of the over-aggression by this Shaka Smart team, they can get some easy buckets like we saw DJ Wilson and Duncan Robinson get.
And the Texas full-court press is something we mentioned at the beginning of the game. I think that's going to be a theme throughout. How do you think Michigan's been able to handle it so far?
Michigan's looked really good. Like we said pregame, this isn't the same press that Shaka Smart had at VCU. It's still a work in progress, and Michigan really hasn't had any issues so far. They did have one possession where the ball was knocked away, but Michigan just maintained possession, so I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem. We will see what happens when Xavier Simpson comes to the game. We could see him coming in right now after this TV timeout, give Derek Walton a little blow. So we'll see if that changes things at all, but I think Muhammad Ali Abdurrahman will help him out as well.
Yeah, it seems like you mentioned Texas has just honestly gotten lucky on a few shots. Do you think they have a chance to get some better looks? What do they need to do to get better looks and not just rely on prayers to get buckets so far?
Honestly, their offense looks eerily similar to Michigan's offense in that they're both stagnant. Texas sits around for a while and passes the ball around the perimeter, but hasn't gotten any penetration, hasn't gotten any post-up looks. But really, none of the backends that Michigan's been enjoying either. So they did have that one possession where they got doubled in the post and then were able to swing it around the outside and get two open threes. Neither of them were able to go. So that's kind of the offensive blueprint for Texas. Work the ball into the post a little bit, then pass it out of there. That might be what they can do to get back offensively here.
As we resume play, Duncan Robinson, 2 free throws after he was fouled by Mack. Makes the first. He's 100% from the free throw line this season. He's 2 for 2. That makes him 3 for 3. And as Andrew mentioned, Xavier Simpson does check into the game for Derek Walton, who started off at point guard. Robinson makes a second. Texas is now inbounding the ball. Roach brings it up. Half court, guarded by Simpson, who just checked back into the game. Looks to post it up to Jared Allen, who's defended by Wilson. Allen skyhook across the key, no good, rebounded by Irvin.
TJ Wilson has done a great job on Allen on defense in the early going here.
Simpson now controlling the offense, gives it to Wilson. Wilson takes it on the wing, crosses from right to left, gives it to Zach Irvin on the wing. Takes a screen from Wagner, kicks it to Robinson. Robinson guarded tightly by Jones. Irvin drives baseline, tries to kick it to the corner, but it's kicked out of bounds by Allen. Ball will remain with Michigan with 6 seconds left on the shot clock.
Wilson has both the size and speed advantage on Allen, the true freshman for Texas.
Irvin inbounds to Robinson, who puts up a quick jumper, but it's blocked by Andrew Jones. Out of bounds, still Michigan ball, now 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Irvin to inbound again. Gives it to Wagner. Wagner, quick pull-up jumper, and that's good. Roach quickly brings it up for Texas, gives it to Claire. Post up against Wagner. Kicks it back to Jones. Jones pump fake, doesn't shoot it. Back to Claire in the post. Claire left, hook, no good. Rebound by Wagner. Simpson to Wilson in the corner. Wilson pump fake, nothing there. Gives it back to Simpson. Simpson swings to Irvin. Robinson alone in the corner, shoots a three. That's good. Nothing but net for Duncan Robinson.
And just like that, Michigan opens up a 10-point advantage, and timeout for Texas. Shaka Smart trying to get his team to regroup.
Michigan just went on a 9-0 run in the last 1 minute 40 seconds. Shaka Smart not happy with how his team is performing. Calls his timeout. The score is now Michigan 21, Texas 11, 9:51 to go. What did you see in that last spurt? It was a 9-0 run in the last 1 minute and 40 seconds.
Yeah, confusion there on that last possession. Tavon Mack and Claire, the big man, switched on a screen. They left Duncan Robinson wide open in the corner, and that was the big bucket for Michigan, really opened up that advantage. Also a nice play coming out of the shot clock. They only had 4 seconds left on the shot clock. They had just seen a play where Duncan Robinson was blocked pretty definitively, but they got the ball back. Nice wide open look from Mo Wagner, gets it to fall. And then Mo Wagner continues to impress defensively on Claire. He's a big guy. He did slip down quite significantly, but he still has quite the size advantage pound for pound on Mo Wagner. Mo Wagner's held his own in the post as a skinnier player, forced an ugly left hook from Claire in the deep post. Claire had some success going to his right against Alabama. Got a few buckets that way, went to his left there, did not look good. Michigan able to come out the other way, get that Duncan Robinson three.
Roach now controls it for the Longhorns coming out of the timeout. Guarded by Duncan Robinson, takes a screen from Claire, drives right against Wagner, kicks to Allen. Allen has it in the key. Post up against Wilson, left hook, no good, rebound Robinson.
DJ Wilson is shutting down Allen.
Walton now gives it to DJ Wilson on the right wing. Gives it to Wagner at the top of the three-point line, gives it to Robinson on the left wing. Robinson scans the court, guarded tightly, pull-up three, that rims out, rebounded by Allen. Andrew Jones, a freshman point guard, now has it against Walton behind the back, nothing there, gives it to Allen. Allen kicks it to Roach. Roach guarded by Simpson, drives right, pull-up jumper. That one rims out, rebounded by Duncan Robinson. Xavier Simpson now has it. Both Simpson and Walton, the 2 point guards, are in the game. Wilson now has it in the right corner. Back to Walton, defended by Roach. Walton surveys the court, directs the Michigan offense. Lets the clock tick down, shot clock tick down to 10 seconds. Takes a screen from Wagner, kicks it to Wagner. Three-pointer from the top. That's an air ball.
Despite the air ball, I think that's a good offensive possession for Michigan. They know Mo Wagner has the speed advantage on Claire, so I like getting them into the pick and roll late clock situation instead of just isolation ball. They run a nice play there, get a good look, just doesn't go down.
Michigan still holds on to its 10-point lead. Roach kicks it to Mack. Mack, three from the corner, that's good. Slow closeout by Duncan Robinson.
Mack, one of the only guys that can really hit threes on this Texas team. Well, actually, they have quite a few shooters, but he's the only guy that hasn't hitting threes in the early going for the first 8 games of the Texas Longhorns season. Hits another one there, stops the bleeding for the Longhorns.
Yeah, Mack shooting 41% from the three. Not really the guy you want to leave open. Simpson drives left, kicks it to DJ Wilson. Wilson pulls up for a three, pump fake, settles for a mid-range jumper. That's another air ball for the Wolverines, as Roach quickly pushes it up on the turnover. Behind the back to Mack. Mack another three. That one's no good, rebounded by Simpson. Quickly push up to Wagner. Wagner drives right against Claire. No foul, no bucket. That's a foul on Claire on the ground as we head to the under 8-minute timeout. Michigan now leads 21-14 with 7:48 left to go in the first half.
And that last possession for Michigan before this one where they got fouled on really illustrates how important the small things are for Michigan. Xavier Simpson shows an inexperience as a freshman, doesn't put the pass right on the money for DJ Wilson. Instead, DJ Wilson, instead of having a wide open look from three, has to put the ball on the floor, try and beat his man, takes an ugly pull-up, results in an air ball. If he puts that ball right in the money, DJ Wilson has a clean look, has a chance to hit that three, and doesn't have to take a rough fadeaway.
Yeah, after Shaka Smart called that timeout following the 9-0 Michigan run, Texas was able to score 3 points and allow 0 points to Michigan. What kind of things do you think he said in that quick timeout to get his team into the game?
I don't think it was really a matter of Texas coming out that much better. Michigan just wasn't able to capitalize. As you saw, 2 air balls, but both of those were pretty good looks. They got wide open looks for both of their players. It just didn't get them to fall. As I mentioned a few possessions ago, they got that good look. They got Wagner and Claire in that pick and roll. That's exactly the look they want. Wide open 3 from the top. That's what you want from Mo Wagner. He just didn't even hit anything, let alone find the bucket. And then once again, you had DJ Wilson finding himself wide open, but the pass is off the money, has to put on the floor in order to get it done. But now Michigan's fouled in transition. They'll get a chance to put a few more points up on the board here and get this lead back up to double digits.
Yeah, we've seen less and less of the press since we talked about it during the last timeout. Do you think that, Texas has sort of abandoned the press and they're trying a new strategy, or do you think we'll see a little bit more of it coming in the second half of the first half?
I think they're going to continue to do it occasionally after made buckets, but in order to do that, you got to make some buckets. They only have 14 points here, more than 12 minutes into the game, so they got to make some buckets if they want to set up that press. It's really tough to do after a miss offensively, and they're quite frankly just not that good at it. They really haven't been causing Michigan any trouble, so they might just want to get back defensively, get set up, and try and force Michigan to go through their sets. Michigan has had some success on the fast break, getting out there and getting either fouls or some easy buckets.
And Kevin Mack, one of Texas's leading scorers, he is their leading scorer with 14 points per game. Right now he's leading the game for Texas with 7 points. We saw him hit that 3 earlier. What kind of things does Michigan need to do to slow him down?
Well, this Texas box score looks just like Texas box score all season. Mack's playing pretty well. The rest of the team is not. So if they can let Mack get his points as long as they continue to hold the rest of the Longhorns in check.
Players come out of the timeout. Michigan set to inbound it after the foul on the ground, not a shooting foul. Irvin swings it to Rockman in the corner, who's just checked into the game. Gives it to Walton, who's standing right on the block M. Guarded by Roach. Calls for a screen, doesn't get one. Now takes one from Wagner. Drives left. Hands it off to Irvin, who Irvin cuts to the middle. Driving right, kicks it to Wilson in the corner. Shoots a 3, that's good.
Wilson is winning this matchup on the #1 center recruit in the country, Jared Allen.
Roach now controlling the ball for Texas, guarded tightly by Derek Walton. Gives it to Allen. Back to Roach on a behind the back, or give and go, excuse me. Easy bucket for the Longhorns. Wilson gives it to Wagner. Wagner, quick pass to Irvin on the left wing. Gives it to Rockman on the middle. Takes a screen right from Wagner. Drives right, nothing. Dribbles back out. Takes a screen from Wagner. 10 seconds to go on the shot clock. Guarded by Claire. And he's called for a carrying violation. Yeah, the refs are being consistent with that one. I believe they called Davis on a similar call earlier in the game, so consistency from the refs, something all fans and players really like to see. Longhorns able to force a turnover there. Roach dribbles it across half court. Takes a screen from Allen. Hands it off to Mack. Mack guarded by Irvin, gives it back to Roach. Takes a screen from Claire. Nothing there. Gives it to Allen at the three-point line. Allen gives it to Davis. Davis shoots a 3, and there's going to be an offensive foul on Texas. Might be a moving screen, I believe, on Jared Allen. Allen's really getting frustrated with DJ Wilson. He just can't hang with him in terms of quickness, and DJ Wilson's just doing a really good job both offensively and defensively. Texas sets up in this full court press. Allen now and Derek Walton. Walton to Irvin. Irvin quickly passes it to Rockman, who crosses the timeline. Walton drives, kicks it to Wagner for the wide open dunk, and he slams it home. Boy, I have never seen someone have so much fun playing basketball as Moritz Wagner. Allen now defended by Wilson, gives it to Roach. Guarded by Walton. Dribbles at the top, gives it to Davis. Davis drives right, kicks it out to Mack, who shoots a deep 3, no good. And that's going to go over the top of the backboard. Michigan ball.
That's exactly the kind of look you want to give up. Even though Mack has been hitting his threes, he was about 3 or 4 feet behind the line there. Not a terrible look for Michigan to give up.
Texas again setting up in the full court press. Looks like they are not abandoning it. Bachman set to inbound. Wilson gets it in the corner, back to Rockman. Gives it back to Wilson. Wilson scanning, gives it to Irvin, and it slips right through Irvin's hands. He had it. It was a good pass. Now Texas ball. Davis brings it across the court, defended by Rockman. Gives it to Allen in the post up. A nice lefty skyhook against DJ Wilson. Looks like Allen won that matchup that time. Texas sets up in the press again. Irvin catches it this time, gives it to Wilson. Rockman to Walton. Quick passes behind the back by Mack, and Walton has it safely across the timeline. Drives, kicks it to Wilson. Wilson to Rockman. Looks like Michigan's going to reset their offense. Rockman guarded by Jared Allen right now on the top of the three-point line. Kicks it to Irvin. Irvin drives left, double team, kicks it to Wagner. Wagner pump fake behind the back, and the refs are going to call a foul on Shaquille Clare on the ground.
Yeah, that was the correct call. Wagner knows he has the speed advantage. We've seen this all game long. He puts it behind the back, and gets grabbed there by Clare. No question. Clare is saying, what did he do? It was very obvious, and it was also very obvious that foul was on the ground.
Michigan fans not happy about the call, but it was the correct call as Irvin inbounds it to Walton. Walton to Wagner at the elbow. Hands it right back to Walton. Walton defended by Andrew Jones. Takes a screen from Wagner. Weaves around. Kicks it to Irvin in the corner. Wide open three. And that one just hits the rim. No good. Jacob Young the rebound. Flies it ahead to Davis. And Davis misses the layup, but the putback is there for Allen.
After getting thoroughly dominated by DJ Wilson in the early going, Jared Allen's bouncing back, making good plays offensively and defensively, scoring the last 4 points for the Longhorns.
Walton has it. Baseline cut. Wilson, no good. Intercepted by the Longhorns. Andrew Jones controls it now. Drives left against Walton. Finishes a strong layup through contact. Timeout by John Beeline, and Texas has cut the lead to 4. The score is now 26 Michigan, 22 Texas.
In very similar fashion, Michigan coming out of the under 8 timeout, as they did against Virginia Tech, very much in control of this game, but they allow their opponent to get right back into the game with a little mini run here late in the first half and make it a competitive game again. John Beeline made a point of putting his starters out there coming out of the under 8 timeout, but he still ended up with only a 4-point lead. They stretched it out to 10, but 6-0 run for Texas, and they're right back in this thing.
Yeah, Michigan had its own run earlier in the game, 9-0 run. Now Texas entering back with the run of its own. You mentioned 6-0 run over the last minute and 13 seconds. What kind of things have allowed Texas to get back in this game? Now only a 4-point game after it seemed like Michigan was dominating for the whole first half.
Well, you see turnovers on 2 of Michigan's last 3 possessions. You see Jared Allen showing why he was such a highly touted recruit. Gets a nice lefty runner in the lane against DJ Wilson. DJ Wilson gave up a step to Allen on that play. And then you see Michigan able to do a decent job offensively, but those turnovers are really killing them. They only have had 3 so far this game, and 2 of those have been in the last 3 possessions. So they've been giving away. Texas been able to get some easy buckets going the other way in transition, which what we mentioned pregame is exactly what they want to do.
Yeah, it looks like Texas is sticking to the press. They brought it back on a few possessions there. And it looks like, do you think the press is getting to Michigan? I know they haven't really explicitly gotten turnovers. I'm not sure if you want to count the one that slipped right through Zach Irvin's hands, but do you think the press is starting to wear Michigan down?
Yeah, I think you can definitely count that one for the press. That was a very obvious case of Zach Irvin just taking his eye off the ball. You could see him trying to make the next pass before he even corrals the ball himself. So that one definitely on the press. Also a poor pass by Derek Walton here on the other end, trying to find DJ Wilson on a back cut. Just wasn't quite there. I think Shaka Smart told his team, you guys have been getting beat on this 3 or 4 times. And now they're a little more aware of that and got their hand in the lane and able to get a takeaway.
Yeah, and also that call that the fans weren't happy about. Morris Wagner was fouled. It looked like he was trying to go behind the back on that. Do you think like that's something of Wagner's game that has been developing? What kind of things have you seen in him, like his progression throughout the season?
Well, he's done a really good job in this game against Clare. Clare's got the bigger body, but he hasn't been able to post up Wagner. Wagner stayed strong, hasn't allowed him to get deep post position, and then Wagner on the offensive side of the ball has used his quickness to really to get Claire in some bad positions. We saw in that little behind the back cross up, drew the foul, and now Claire's in foul trouble. He's already got 2 fouls, and he honestly could have even more based on his physical play. And he's been slow-footed on defense, so he'll come out of the game. Texas will go with a little smaller lineup, and Michigan's got to try and get a bucket here.
Michigan coming out of the timeout, defended by the press. A quick foul by Andrew Jones on Derek Walton. That's the 5th team foul, so Michigan's not in the bonus, and they'll look to retry to break this press.
2 hallmarks of John Beeline coach teams: not turning the ball over and not fouling. Michigan's done a good job both of those things so far. Only 3 turnovers and 2 team fouls.
Rockman to inbound it on the sideline. Walton now has it, defended by Roach. Walton brings it up by himself, gives it to Wilson on the right wing. Swings to Rockman at the top of the key. Rockman back to Walton on the wing. Walton, quick dribble move, drives baseline, kicks it to Irvin in the corner. That's deflected off of Roach, out of bounds. Possession remains Michigan. 14 seconds to go on the shot clock.
Give credit to Texas. They've done a good job getting their hands in the passing lanes, creating some tips and knocking some balls out of bounds, so Michigan would have some wide open looks.
Rockman has it now, dribbles to the middle. 10 on the shot clock, defended tightly by Jones. Crossover, step back, gives it to Wagner. Wagner spins against Allen, and lefty goes home.
That was nasty. Right after we talked about him coming out that last time out, great look there by Mo Wagner.
Yeah, he showed the behind the back earlier, and now he shows the spin move. A nice move by Wagner. As Texas controls it now, Allen trying to answer against Wagner, but it's poked away by Rockman. Walton now has it, crossing the timeline, swings it to Rockman. Rockman drives, finishes it, and that rims out, does not finish it. And looks like it's going to be a foul on Irvin on the rebound. It's going to be Texas ball.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they are going to call that on Irvin. Okay, I wasn't sure which way they were calling that. And that's a disturbing trend for Michigan. In these last 3 games, they've really been giving up a lot of fouls, silly fouls, just going for offensive rebounds. Yes, you want to hit the glass. That's something you like to see, but they've done a fine job hitting the glass and really just been giving up a lot of silly fouls. That's arguably why DJ Wilson fouled out of that Virginia Tech game.
Texas now has the ball. Roach brings it up for the Longhorns, hands it off to Mack. Mack swings it to Davis. Davis guarded by Robinson. Davis takes the screen from Allen, cuts back, drives right, nothing there, and he's going to be called for a walk. One step too many for Davis, and it's going to be Michigan ball.
Yeah, that's another turnover there for the Longhorns. Already up to 9 turnovers in the ball game so far. Michigan's got to capitalize, though. They only have 10 points off those 8 turnovers.
Wagner drives against Allen. Allen holds up strong, nothing there, kicks it back to Robinson. Robinson gives it back to Wagner to post up. Wagner, no dribble handoff, drives against Allen. He's going to be fouled, going to be on the ground again.
And that's going to be the second foul on Allen, so Michigan's starting to get this Longhorn front court into trouble, and Michigan will be in the bonus here. Get the 1-and-1. Yeah, that's just a classic case of reaching with your hand instead of moving your feet. Allen slaps down with his left hand instead of moving his feet to get ahead of Wagner, and he's going to check out of the game.
Yeah, James Clark, the backup center now, checking into the game. Shaka Smart wants to keep his freshman star out of foul trouble. Jared Allen now with 2. Wagner shoots the first of the 1-and-1. That's going to be in and out. Looked like it was good, but it rimmed out at the last second. Clark quickly brings it up across the timeline for the Longhorns, swings it to Mack, back to Clark, back to Roach. Roach now dribbles at the top of the key, waiting for the clock to run down. Takes a screen from Clark, tries to split the double team, but hits off of Wagner's foot. Robinson recovers the ball, passes it up court to Irvin. Irvin back to Walton, and the Wolverines are now going to set up their offense. As he swings to Wilson on the key. On the wing, Wilson dribbles middle, swings it to Robinson, swings it to Walton. Walton finds a cutting DJ Wilson, but nothing there. Back to Walton. Takes a screen from Wagner. Dribbles out, pull up 3. That's good for Derek Walton, the senior point guard.
Not necessarily the best look there, but able to get it to go. That's a tough shot. Just execution there by Derek Walton.
Michigan lead up to 9 now. Wolverines up 31 to Longhorns 22. And going to be a quick foul called. Looks like it's going to be on Wagner trying to fight for post position against James Clark. Crowd not happy with the call.
Yeah, that's one they really haven't been calling either way. I don't really understand what they saw there, but there was a very soft foul on Derek Walton on the other side of the court. Perhaps he's trying to make up for that one.
Yeah, now Michigan's starting center, Mo Wagner, has 2 fouls, so Beeline's going to check him out.
This could be crucial. Mark Donnell has played a few minutes in this game, hasn't looked good, so he's got to try and put in a solid minute 40 here. Michigan tries to maintain this 9-point lead.
Yeah, Mark Donnell, who's just checked back in the game, defending James Clark in the posts. Texas inbounds the ball. Roach drives against Donnell, steps back, kicks it off to Davis. Davis shoots a 3, no good. Rebounded by Walton. Walton loses balance, keeps control, dribbles past, kick out to Robinson, wide open 3. That one misses, and players fight for the rebound. It's going to be off Mark Donnell. Crowd again not happy with the ref's decision.
Yeah, that one, that's just a blown call right there. There's no other way you can look at that. Mark Donnell grabbed the ball, and it's just slapped out of his hands by the Longhorns. They should be able to go to the monitors. It's under 2 minutes, but I think that's only in the second half. That was a very obvious call, just a blown call there by the referee.
Anyways, Longhorns do have possession. Clark controls it at the elbow, defended by Donnell. Gives it to Roach, who drives. Layup no good, rebounded by Donnell. It was blocked by DJ Wilson.
Yeah, not sure why he was being timid there. Could have smacked that into the upper deck.
Walton drives, but it's slapped out of his hands by Clark. On the other end, Mack and 1 layup against DJ Wilson.
And that right there is how Texas wants to generate offense. They haven't been getting anything going in the half court. Gets a nice steal there. They got a 2-on-1 going the other way. And just a poor play by DJ Wilson. Let him have that 2. Don't need to give him the extra chance to cut into this Michigan lead.
Mack now 1-and-1. First one is good. Oh, sorry, it was and 1. The 1 free throw is good. Texas cuts the lead to 6. There's under a minute left to play. Walton trying to beat the press. Swings it to Irving. Passes cross court to Robinson. Robinson doesn't see anything there. Gives it back to Walton. Gives it to Wilson on the wing. Wilson passes to Irvin at the top 3-point line. Gives it back to Walton now on the wing. Walton drives right. Kicks it back out. Shot clock at 7. Walton now with the ball. Quick move. Shoots a 3. That one's no good. Rebounded by Mack. And the Longhorns are running. Mack slows it up. Gives it back to Clark. 17 seconds left. Looks like this will be the last possession of the first half. Crowd now on his feet. Roach takes the ball, takes the screen from Yancey. Defended by Derek Walton. Gives it to Banks, who gives it to Mack. Mack shoots a 3 with the hand in his face. That's good. Nothing but net for Tevin Mack to end the first half. The score is now 31-28. Tevin Mack's 3 at the end of the half cuts the lead to 3. As the players head into the locker room. Before we head out for a halftime break, what are your thoughts for the first half?
Well, Michigan thoroughly outplayed the Longhorns in that first half, but they let the Longhorns get right back into it. They had a 10-point lead with about 6 minutes to go and let it just slip away. Got it back up to 9 with only about 2 minutes to go, and they just let the Longhorns right back in. That was a big 3. Texas is right in this game. They've really been struggling offensively. And quite frankly, when you force 10 turnovers at a half and you only get 13 points off those turnovers, that's not going to get it done. Michigan's got to do a better job getting points, getting out in transition when they're forcing these Longhorn turnovers. Longhorns have not been careless with the basketball. Michigan hasn't made them pay. And Texas is right in this game. They're shooting a little better than 3 than they normally do this season, but that's what we expected based on their performance last year. These are some shooters that just haven't been hitting their shots, and really they're finally starting to heat up.
Again, that's the first half. Michigan up 31-28. I'm Will Yang, joined by Andrew Hausman. This is 88.3 FM Ann Arbor, WCBN Sports. And we're checking out, but please don't forget to join us for the second half.
Welcome back inside Chrysler Center for WCBN sports coverage of Michigan basketball as we get you set for the second half. Michigan on top of Texas, 31-28. I'm Leo Glavin, joining me, Jeff Chan, high above the Chrysler Center for here. And Jeff, Michigan looked good at times in the first half, but it was a 6-0 run to close out that by Texas. That is the Longhorns carrying all the momentum into the second half.
Yeah, I agree. Michigan had a 31-22 lead with a couple minutes left in the first half, and all of a sudden Texas hit a couple threes, and now it's a close game. Though Michigan really dominated this first half, shooting 40% from the field and winning the turnover battle. And really, it's just Michigan has to continue to come out, play aggressive on offense, and try to do their best. They did a great job beating Texas havoc defense. So far, looking good. You got to cut down on the mental errors.
Michigan's leading scorer in the first half, DJ Wilson, who was 4 of 5 from the field. Moritz Wagner contributing 8. For Texas, it was really all coming from the sophomore Tevin Mack, and Mack really showed his versatility, scoring inside and outside as well. He finished the first half with a big three-pointer. How does Michigan shut him down in the second half?
I mean, really, it's just got to contain him. I mean, you've been putting Zach Irvin on Tevin Mack for a lot of the game, and basically you just have to continue to stay on him. I mean, ultimately, Texas offense runs through him, and it's going to be key to, if they can shut him down, get him out of rhythm, Michigan's in a good spot.
Texas in their alternate and road black uniforms with the orange, burnt orange, I should say, numerals. Michigan in their alternate maize uniforms with the blue digits. Michigan will be going right to left to start the second half. Texas will be attacking from left to right. It'll be Michigan basketball as we start things off here in the second half. The Wolverines on top of Texas, 31-28. On the floor for the Wolverines, Zach Irvin, Derek Walton Jr., Muhammad Ali Abdul-Rahman, Moritz Wagner, and DJ Wilson. For the Longhorns, Kerwin Roach, Jared Allen, Shaquille Clare, Tevin Mack, and Andrew Jones. Mack guarding Irvin, and Irvin forced to kick it out to the right free throw line extended. It's Derek Walton Jr. Dishes to Irvin, cutting inside through a lot of contact, and has his shot sent out of play. A nice block, showing his length once again. Jared Allen, the McDonald's All-American.
Irvin with a nice move to the rim, however, a little quiet so far, scoreless through the first half.
And that'll be something to keep an eye on. He's been the Wolverines' leading scorer in most of their wins this year. Wagner gets a nice feed from Walton Jr. and finishes off the glass with the right hand.
It's a great pass from Derek Walton. They've had a lot of success on these little cuts towards the rim throughout the game.
Michigan's lead back up to 5. Allen going to work on the left block. A nice spin, goes up with the right hand and gets it off the glass. It was a tight angle and he fit it through. Allen now with 6 points for the Longhorns. The freshman making his presence felt in the paint, and there's an off-ball foul as Rockmom was cutting to the basket and impeding his progress. Kerwin Roach, his first team foul of the second half for the Longhorns with 19:04 left to go in the contest. Michigan on top of Texas, 33-30. Off the foul, it's a reset shot clock. Irvin inbounding baseline, looking for someone, and finally finds Rockmom in the far corner, and now Rockmon dribbles up to the Block M logo at midcourt. Wagner driving inside, kicking to Wilson in the far corner, hits the three. DJ Wilson showing his range, his second triple of the night.
That's a second three from that corner. He's finding a little groove in that corner of the spot right there.
And Wilson now leading the team with 12 points. Lead back up to 6. Back the other way, Kerwin Roach. Up top to Allen, and now they move it towards the Texas bench. Davis feeds Allen, and Allen lost the handle for a second. He double dribbles. Oh, they're going to call an offensive foul instead, and that's a much bigger thing to keep an eye on, as that's Jared Allen's third here with just 18:28 to go in this game. You wonder at what point Allen gets into more foul trouble, and perhaps Shaka Smart pulls him, but he's going to keep the freshman out there currently with 3 fouls with still plenty of time to play in this second half. Rockmon with it at the top of the key. Hands off to Irvin, looking for his first points of the game. Drives, kicks it, and has his pass intercepted off a deflection. Jared Allen forcing the turnover, and back the other way comes Tevin Mack. Now Davis off a screen. Feeds it down low to Claire. Claire going to work on the right block against Moritz Wagner. Lowers the right shoulder and goes up with a hook and gets it through.
Nice shot there. Not much Moritz Wagner can do on that play.
Claire with his first basket of the night, and the lead back down to 4. It's Michigan 36, Texas 32 with 17:30 to go here in regulation time. Wagner driving inside off the right block. His high-angled shot off the glass and off the side of the rim, no good. Back the other way come the Longhorns. Davis thought about it. His hesitation causes the miss on the 3, but the offensive rebound picked up by Allen. He can't get the finger roll to go. And Michigan now with the defensive board.
Davis had a wide open look, but that double clutch definitely, I think, threw him off on the shot there.
Walton through contact, gets some separation, shot no good. Wagner had the positioning, but Claire, who manages to tiptoe the sideline and not travel as well, secures the defensive board.
It looked like he stepped out of bounds.
Tough to tell from this vantage point, but the referee, who was right there, decided he was in play. And play resumes, Texas with the basketball. Mack thought about driving baseline, instead dribbles up top, has his path cut off, nearly intercepted. They're going to say it took some sort of deflection. It goes out of bounds along the Texas bench. Texas will retain possession with 9 seconds to go on the shot clock and a 4-point deficit. Jacob Young enters the game for the Longhorns. Duncan Robinson out there now for the Wolverines. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Mack forced to fire a deep 3, and he is hitting everything and really starting to heat up. Michigan's got to keep him guarded tightly.
That's his third three-pointer now. Tevin Mack's really been carrying this Texas offense through the game.
He's 3 of 6 from behind the arc, 5 of 9 from the field, and he leads all scorers with 16 points. The lead is 1. Rockmon threw lots of contact, and it was a late whistle, but one he earned. And he will go to the line to shoot 2 as he drove right through the lane and took a hip check, as well as a lot of contact at the upper body. He missed the lay-in, but he will go to the line to shoot 2 for the Wolverines.
And this is what Muhammad is really good at, is driving to the rim and forcing contact at the rim. He's probably the best player on this Wolverines team when it comes to driving to the rim and being able to draw contact. Both
Allen and Claire now with 3 fouls, so one of those bigs you'd expect to come out. And James Banks will enter the game. Claire will take a seat, so they will leave Jared Allen, the true freshman and ESPN's top-rated center in the recruiting class of last season, in there with 3 fouls. Rockmon hits the second free throw. The lead is just 2 for the Wolverines with 16:10 to go in regulation time. Rockmon with his first points of the game. Irvin out there on the floor still looking for his, or I should say, checked out for Robinson, and he will return this game still looking for his first points. And Wagner draws a weak off-ball foul. Eric Davis was driving. No need for Wagner to generate any contact. That's his 3rd foul, and he will head to the bench. Mark Donnell in.
That's got to be really frustrating for John Beeline. Moritz Wagner's definitely Michigan's most talented center, but definitely prone to mental errors and little cheap fouls like that. Now he has to come out of the game.
Wagner pleading his case to head coach John Beeline. Unfortunately, Beeline's not the one to make that call. It was Gene Sterator, and Wagner heads to the bench with 3. Texas with the basketball. Eric Davis at the top of the key. Hands off to Tevin Mack, and Mack throws up the left fist to signal play, tries to split through the lane, somehow does. He threw up a hoop shot from his waist with the right hand, and it doesn't go. I'm shocked he was able to split seemingly 4 Michigan defenders, but the shot no good, and Michigan with the defensive rebound. Back the other way come the Wolverines, nursing a 2-point lead. Robinson trying to feed it down low to Donnell, who seemed to have positioning, but Robinson elected otherwise. Now Donnell gets it from the right free throw line extended, hands to Walton. His long triple bounces off the rim twice, but it doesn't find the twine. And a poor pass on an outlet. There was no pressure. James Banks just sort of threw it with a bit too much pace. Eric Davis couldn't hang on, and Michigan will get the basketball off that turnover. When we come back, 15-12 still to play here in the second half. Michigan leads at 37-35. What have you seen so far in the second half, as Michigan has gone without a field goal in the last 3 minutes and 40 seconds?
Yeah, as you said, Michigan getting a little cold from the field, and that's kind of been the problem in the second half at times of the season for Michigan. As they come out of the second half, they go on long stretches where they can't make a shot and they let teams back into the game. So Michigan now, John Beilein has to set his team down, settle them down, get out there, play some offense in order to try to establish some rhythm again.
12th turnover now for Texas of the game. Michigan has taken advantage with 13 points off turnovers, but you have to think at some point ball security is either going to win Texas this game if they can tighten things up down the stretch, or it's going to give Michigan this victory because Michigan's only turned it over 5 times thus far.
Yeah, I know. Texas is known, with Shaka Smart's havoc defense, Michigan's the one seemingly creating the havoc of this game, forcing 12 Texas turnovers. If Michigan's going to want to try and pull away this game, it's going to have to continue to apply pressure, make Texas make some errors, some mistakes and turnovers. Well, Michigan has to protect the ball. They've done pretty good so far against Texas' full court defense. If they can continue doing that while continuing to apply pressure on Texas, I think they could definitely pull away with this.
When John Beilein met with the media this week, he did note this would be not only a proving ground weekend for this program, but it could have major implications in terms of Michigan getting an NCAA tournament bid, as well as the Wolverines host Texas here tonight and then travel to Pauley Pavilion to take on the second-ranked UCLA Bruins. But you really have to think Michigan's got to come away with a victory tonight if they want to bolster their non-conference resume, because come tournament time, that's going to play a big difference between this team getting a good seed or even getting into the tournament.
Absolutely agree. Tonight is a must-win game for the Michigan Wolverines. They've already lost 2 games, key games, earlier this season, South Carolina and Virginia Tech. 2 games that were key in order to make improve Michigan's strength of schedule. Those losses, tonight is an absolute key. And obviously going to UCLA this Saturday would be nice to pull away with a win, but tonight is an absolute must-win, or else they're going to go in the conference play with 4 losses to top quality teams, and it's not going to look good for the resume come NCAA tournament time.
15-12 still to play in the second half. Michigan leads Texas 37-5. It's 37-35. Michigan with the basketball off the 12th Longhorn turnover of this game. Texas came into this game averaging just 12 turnovers, and with 15 minutes to go, they're likely to surpass their season average tonight. Can Michigan take advantage? Donnell nearly has it intercepted at the top of the key. Instead finds Duncan Robinson. Robinson drives inside, tries to throw up a shot in there, had no chance, and it was blocked once again. This time James Banks, and he nearly turned it over again. Instead, it finds an open Longhorn. Jacob Young's 3 no good. Young trying his luck from deep again, and this time he converts.
Nothing much you could do, just bad timing, bad positioning for Michigan. Now Texas takes his first lead of the game.
That they do. 14.5 minutes to go, and Texas now leading it 38-7 here in Ann Arbor. An off-ball foul called.
Longhorns foul to number 12, Kerwin Roach.
They will get Kerwin Roach.
His first personal foul. Team's 4th. Checking in for the Longhorns,
Kerwin Roach, his first.
Eric Davis.
Already the 4th team foul against the Longhorns. Michigan has had no trouble getting into the bonus. It seems to be once they're in the bonus, they're not finding ways to get to the free throw line. We'll see if that changes tonight. Still Texas with 2 more fouls to give. 14 minutes and change to go. Michigan trailing by 1 with the basketball. Mark Donnell at the top of the key. Finds Wilson in front of the Michigan bench. Robinson cutting inside from 10 feet out, throws it up top, but the pass was deflected, and Texas has a break the other way. Tevin Mack goes to the rim and stuffs it home.
It's a poor decision by Duncan Robinson giving that ball away.
That was Andrew Jones who absolutely elevated and flushed it home, and John Beilein takes his second time out of this game. Texas leading it 40-37, and Michigan now has gone 5 minutes without a basket.
Another issue, again, bad turnover, a bad pass by Duncan Robinson, trying just to do too much, and Texas makes him pay for it.
Media timeout will extend this at 13:56 still to go here in the second half. It's Michigan 37, Texas 40. Michigan going into the locker room with a lead at Chrysler Center is nothing new. They've done it every game this year, and every single week against a good team, at least for the past 2 weeks, they found a way to blow that lead. How does Michigan make things different than it was last week against Virginia Tech?
I mean, they really got to hit the shots when they get them, and they got to really make a stand on defense. The problem with Virginia Tech last week is that Michigan's defense really caved late. Perimeter became extremely leaky, and Virginia Tech was able to find everything they wanted. Michigan cannot allow to give Texas free opportunities like they just did. Michigan has to be able to take care of the ball. They're winning the turnover battle, but every time they seem to turn the ball over, Texas seems to capitalize on it.
Tevin Mack has led the way for Texas. He's got 16 points in this game. He's on the bench right now, but you assume when he comes back in, Michigan's got to make him a priority defensively. How can they shut him down?
I think you really just got to put whoever's guarding him, you got to really stick to him. I understand that it's a lot easier said than done, but really the way Michigan plays defense, Tevin Mack is the key to this game, and whoever has to guard him has to stick on him at all costs.
This game equally important for Michigan as it is for Texas. Texas also trying to bolster their NCAA tournament resume. They had a good win against Alabama on December 2nd, winning 77-66, but they've also had a few ugly losses, losing to Northwestern 58-7 to 77 in the Legends Classic, and on November 29th they lost at home to UT Arlington 72-61. They don't look like that team tonight, though. They found points easy to come by, particularly in the second half, and they've really done a good job locking down Michigan defensively.
Yeah, exactly. Tevin Mack is already leading Texas on this night, and really for Texas, this is the same thing. This is their last major chance for the major marquee non-conference win. After this, they go into the heart of Big 12 conference play, which is definitely Texas. So this is the last chance to have a marquee non-conference win to bolster the rest.
This is Texas' only road non-conference game of the season, and they are looking to earn a victory here in Ann Arbor, their first trip ever to Chrysler Center, and they're currently leading 40-37 with 13:45 to go in this game. Michigan with the basketball, dribbling right to left. Walton Jr., the point guard, finds Robinson. Back up top to Walton. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Screen coming from Donnell. Walton will try a long triple from 3 feet behind the arc, and nothing doing on that one. It hit the back heel of the rim, and it's brought down by Davis.
Not sure if that's a possession John Beilein wanted right out of the timeout.
A interception on a pass leads to a breakaway the other way. 13 turnovers for Texas. Can Walton convert on this one? No, he cannot. Nice block by James Young, and an outlet back the other way leaves Jones all alone, and his shot deflected by Robinson. The rebound brought down by Wilson. Great heads-up defensive play by Duncan Robinson, as it appeared Andrew Jones would have an easy lay-in. No, sir, says the transfer from Williams. And back the other way, Robinson for 3. What a sequence! A 5-point swing for Michigan. Robinson with a block on one end and a triple on the other.
That is exactly what Michigan needed. Great job by Duncan Robinson on both sides of the floor on defense, and then hitting this huge three-pointer on the other side of the floor.
And Shaka Smart senses a change in momentum. Will call his second timeout. 12:43 to go here in the second half. Michigan and Texas deadlocked at 40. Robinson, his triple, gets him to 10 points on the night. And what a sequence on one end. Andrew Jones has an easy lay-in rejected by Robinson. With all due respect, not a guy known for his defensive prowess, but he gets the block, and on the other end, you can't leave him open from deep. Hand down, man down, and he buries it from long distance.
Yeah, I believe Jones was actually really surprised to see Duncan Robinson there. I think Jones thought he had an easy slam dunk, but Robinson did a good job of standing in the way, forces Jones to misdirect his shot, misses it, and then Duncan Robinson doing what he's known for, hitting threes on the other side of the floor. Michigan now tied in this game, back in it.
12:43 left to go here in the second half. It is Texas with the basketball. We are tied at 40-40 on the floor for the Longhorns. Jarrett Allen, Eric Davis. The inbounder will be Tevin Mack. And out there as well, Jacob Young. For Michigan, Mark Donnell, Duncan Robinson, Derek Walton Jr., DJ Wilson, and Zach Irvin. 12:30 to play. Tie game, Texas basketball. Eric Davis up top, trapped, and he kicks it out to the far side to Young. Driving through all sorts of contact. The shot doesn't go off the glass. Robinson with good positioning. Back the other way come the Wolverine. Walton pushing the pace, and now we'll reset at the block out. Robinson defers to Walton. Back up top, Robinson blows by the defender, gets some separation, and hits the long two.
Another great sequence by Duncan Robinson. Second straight defensive possession. Forced Kerwin Roach to make a tough layup, and then, again, makes a move, hits a nice little jumper.
And then there's a whistle. Looking for some blood. Someone's bleeding on the court.
Goes to a media timeout.
And it may be Duncan Robinson. They will take this to a media timeout as well. 11:57 still to go in this one. Michigan leading at 42-40. They'll get whoever's the bleeding player out there bandaged up. They'll clean the court, and we will get back to action after the commercial break. Michigan leads 42-40. 11:57 to go on the Michigan Basketball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM Ann Arbor. I'm Leo Blaven, joining me, Jeff Chan. Jeff, what have you seen from Michigan on these past couple of possessions that's led to the spark? Obviously, Duncan Robinson playing a key role.
I think really it's been all Duncan Robinson for these last minute or so. Duncan Robinson, a couple great defensive possessions where, I mean, generally he's been identified as the weak link on defense, has done an incredible job posting on Andrew Jones and on Kerwin Roach, and then on the opposite end, making his offensive contribution felt, hitting a three, making a move, hitting his jumper. So far, Duncan Robinson has had a really good last few couple of minutes.
Just looking ahead a little bit, Michigan travels to Pauley Pavilion on Saturday. That's a game we will have for you on youtube.com/WCBN Sports and on our website, WCBNsports.org. What challenges does UCLA pose? Obviously, we have to beat quite a few. They're the number 2 team in the country. They're undefeated. They just beat the number 1 team in the country in Lexington last week when they beat the Kentucky Wildcats.
Yeah, I watched part of their game against Kentucky, and I gotta say, this is an incredibly athletic and talented UCLA team. This is a young team with a couple of true freshmen, Lonzo Ball, TJ Lee, really carrying the way for UCLA Bruins. They matched step by step with Kentucky athletically, and they absolutely, made mincemeat of Kentucky's defense. Usually put up 97 points on Kentucky. The key for Michigan is next week is really containing this really potent UCLA offense. I think UCLA's offense might be one of the best in the country, if not the best. So this is a very tough matchup for Michigan heading to Pauley Pavilion this upcoming Saturday.
Michigan leading Texas 42-40, 11:57 here to go in regulation on the Michigan Basketball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM Ann Arbor. It will be Texas basketball. They trail by 2, working left to right across your radio dial. On the floor for the Wolverines, Wilson, Walton, Irvin, Robinson, and Donnell. For Texas, Mack, Young, Davis, Roach, and Allen. Michigan with just 1 team foul in the second half. Texas already with 4. Roach dribbling the basketball at the top of the key. Tried to feed it down low to Allen. Instead, kicks it into the near corner. Jacob Young, his 3 off the heel. No good. And Wilson skies for it and brings it down for the Wolverines. Michigan with that 2-point lead, looking to add to it here. Robinson thought about going to work off the dribble, never put it to the hardwood. Instead, kicks it to his point guard, Walton, and now Wilson with it in front of Coach John Beilein in the Michigan bench. 10 seconds on the shot clock, pass nearly intercepted to Walton. Walton steps inside, now behind the arc once again. Dribbles up top, kicks to Donnell off a screen. His triple is no good. Correction, Duncan Robinson, his triple no good, but Wilson gets the offensive rebound. Goes up through contact, and he'll have the line to shoot 2.
incredible effort by DJ Wilson fighting for that offensive rebound and going back up there, drawing another foul.
And that's 4 now against Jared Allen, the freshman you'd expect to come to the bench for quite some time. Surprised that he was back in so early, but he will sit likely until the last few minutes now with 4 fouls. 5 team fouls against the Longhorns as well, as DJ to the line to shoot 2. Coming into this game shooting 86% from the charity stripe.
That is a key foul on Jared Allen, and with Cleary with 3 fouls, Texas bigs are already on thin ice when it comes to foul trouble. Something to keep an eye on going forward. If you're Michigan, you want to continue to attack the hoop, continue to put these guys in difficult situations.
Difficulty from the free throw line, I should say, continues for the Wolverines. Shooting 50% now. That one is good, but Wilson missed the first one of the 2. Michigan 4 now of 8 from the stripe. 4 of 7, excuse me. Muhammad Ali Abdul-Rahman checks back in for the Wolverines. It's Walton, Abdul-Rahman, Urban, Robinson, and Donnell on the floor. For Texas, Mack, Jones, Young, Davis, and Roach. Swing pass out to Jones. Now up top, Davis with it. Davis goes to work off the dribble, gets inside the free throw line, and gets his long jumper to go. About 8 feet from the rim, not enough to dissuade him from pulling up in traffic and burying the 2. Lead back down to 1. It's 10:25 left on this game clock. Michigan leading 43-42 over Texas. Off the screen, here's Robinson, top of the key. Swings it out wide to Walton. Walton drives inside. No look pass to Donnell, who kicks it up top to Urban. Good ball movement leads to an open 3 from Robinson, and it rattled around the rim, not through.
Great ball movement by Michigan. Duncan just unable to get that one to go in.
Tevin Mack up top, setting things up for the Longhorns. Now Kerwin Roach. Dribbles through 2 screens. Kicks to Cole, who can't hang on for a moment, regathers and stuffs it home with the right hand. Shaquille Clare. That's a big body down low. He dropped 30 pounds this summer, but still carries a lot of weight in that 6'8" frame. The pride of Andros in the Bahamas, transferred to Texas via Big Ten program Maryland. Texas back on top, 44-43, Michigan with the basketball. Walton drives inside, has it cut off at the baseline. Irvin, the second time he's just lost sight of the basketball, and a clear pass, and it goes out of bounds. That's turnover number 7 for the Wolverines with 9:31 still to play. It's Texas 44, Michigan 43, Texas with the basketball. Rockman out, DJ Wilson back in. Roach dribbles and gives to Mack. Mack has his pass deflected off the right hand of Irvin. Out of bounds, ball back to Texas as Wagner sprints off the bench, and he will check in here for Mark Donnell. Wagner's got 3 fouls, so he's got to be careful not to pick one up too quickly. But you got to bring in your best offensive big when you've failed to score in the last 3 minutes, as is the case with the Wolverines, who trail by 1 with 9:10 now left to go in this contest between the Wolverines and the Longhorns of Texas. Losing his footing was Davis. He kicks up top to Tevin Mack. And the shot clock never got restarted. Good eye by Gene Sterador to stop play before things got too out of hand. And now they will have to review things, probably take a second or 2 off that shot clock. It'll be Texas basketball. The big advantage the Longhorns get is they get to draw up a play now without using a timeout. And they will drop the shot clock all the way down to 5 seconds.
It's going to have to be a quick inbounds play, probably to Tevin Mack, in order to get a quick shot off.
So 5 seconds on the shot clock, 9:06 on the game clock. Texas lead 44-43, the possession arrow in their favor, and they also have possession. Inbounding it is Andrew Jones. He's joined on the floor by Kerwin Roach, Eric Davis, the big body Shaquille Clare, and the leading scorer for both sides, Tevin Mack, who leads everybody with 16 points. A Very long triple, rattles around the rim and not through. And it goes out of bounds. Kerwin Roach, not afraid to take that one from 5 feet behind the arc.
Bit of an odd inbounds play, and almost it seemed like Texas wasn't aware that there was 5 seconds left because Kerwin Roach was taking that pretty casually and then chucks up that long three.
Texas going with the full court havoc defense once again, which Michigan breaks easily. They need a basket here to take back the lead. Irvin at the top of key. Kicks to Wagner, who poses up for a 3, instead gives to Robinson. Walton now off a screen. Looking for some movement, not getting it. Tries to drive inside through all sorts of traffic, and he threw it out of bounds. Just trying to get a pass off as he fell to the floor. Nothing doing as it goes into the courtside seats on the baseline. Texas basketball off of Michigan's 8th turnover of the game. Texas leads 44-43 with 8:20 to go. They drive it left to right. Eric Davis. Up top to Jones, back to Davis. Claire fronting with Moritz Wagner, looking to get inside positioning. Instead, Davis will drive baseline. He's trapped in that corner, kicks it up top, wisely so, to Joseph. Now Matt. Driving inside, gets to the right block, through contact, shot no good. Who did it go off of? They will say Claire. Out of bounds, ball to Michigan.
Great defensive possession there by Michigan. Great job rotating between defenders.
Texas continuing to press and nearly forcing another turnover. Walton's just got to get it across midcourt and now does. Gives to Irvin. Now Wilson. From 18 feet inside, feeds Wagner down low, wide open. A defensive breakdown leads to the easy finish off the glass for the German. And a great feed by DJ Wilson, as well as Moritz Wagner urges the Maze Rage. And the rest of this Michigan crowd on their feet. Michigan back on top with 7.5 minutes to go. It's Michigan 45, Texas 44 in a big Tuesday night clash. Davis pulls up for a long triple to hush the crowd. Off the right side of the rim, no good. Claire got his right paw on it, sends it out of bounds, but they're going to say it went off a Wolverine. And no referee in there to overrule. I'm not sure if they will go and take a look at this. No reason not to. There's a timeout on the floor. 7:18 still to go in regulation. Michigan leads 45-44 on the Michigan Basketball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM, Ann Arbor.
Great job there by Michigan on this last couple of defensive possessions. Pretty good so far. However, on the other side, it's a different story. Michigan's offense has really looked all out of sorts. Ball movement has been pretty lackluster, and they're having trouble getting any sort of penetration towards the rim. Outside of that one defensive lapse there, where DJ Wilson found Wagner all alone for an easy bucket. Michigan's offense has really been struggling to get any sort of rhythm going, and it's something that Beeline is going to have to try and fix because this is turning into a bit of a defensive slugfest. But Michigan's offense, though, has to do something in order to try and break it. Like they looked much better in the first half, maybe trying to rekindle some of that magic.
Texas has struggled offensively of late as well, and a credit has to be given to Michigan's defense. The Longhorns have gone 2.5 minutes without scoring. Michigan, in their last game coming on Saturday, beat Kennesaw State 82-55. It was the highest scoring output of the season. Obviously an upgrade in competition tonight, but where have the struggles for Michigan's offense started?
I think really it's just, you're looking at Zach Irvin at 0 points. Michigan's leading scorer has really been kind of all out of sorts. Hasn't really found any looks. Also been a little sloppy with the ball. Has already has a couple turnovers on his sheet. Almost a couple of really sloppy passes in addition. Zach Irvin has to try and find something here with 7 minutes left to get something going because Michigan's going to have to rely on him coming down crunch time.
It's 5 fouls for Michigan, or for Texas, 1 foul for Michigan. So Michigan in a precarious position. They only lead by 1, but they may have to start fouling quickly, depending on how this game progresses.
Yeah.
As we reach the under 8 media timeout, there will be 1 TV timeout remaining. 2 timeouts left for both sides. There's the horn on the floor as the huddles break. The possession arrow in favor of the visitors from Austin.
5 fouls. I thought Michigan continue to try and attack the rim. Draw fouls, get into the bonus, and get to the free throw line. That seems might be like a great way to generate some offense for Michigan in this low-scoring hockey.
7:18 still to play here Michigan leading Texas 45-44. Texas with the basketball with 7:15 to go. Davis with it, kicks it into the corner. Young feeds it down low to Claire. Claire going to work on the left block against Moritz Wagner. Just looking for someone to get it to. And he kicks it up top. Once again, Kerwin Roach with it at the top of the key. To Tevin Mack off a screen, finds some separation, and he sold that foul well. He will go to the line to shoot 3. I'm not sure there was enough contact to warrant the whistle, but he really sold it.
Yeah, I agree. I think he sold that pretty well. But that was a huge foul, though, on DJ Wilson.
At the line is shooting 3 for the Longhorns is 0.
Wilson not in foul trouble yet, just his 3rd foul, 2nd team foul for the Wolverines. However, Mack will go to the line to shoot 3, and he gets the first to go. And the Longhorns pull even with Michigan with 6:52 to go. It's a 45-45 game. Second freebie, rattles off the front of the iron, the heel, and then back off the front of the iron to the floor without finding the net. No good. Can he get 2 of the 3 to go? The 3rd one is up, and that touches nothing but twine. Tevin Mack leading the Longhorns with 18 points on the road, and the Havoc defense pushing Michigan to the brink. Walton trying to split 3 black jerseys, unable to do so. Turnover, and back the other way comes Mack. Mack steps inside, good position by Irvin, forces the miss, and now the Wolverines can break the other way, but Robinson hesitant to get a good outlet pass going. Texas will regroup defensively, preventing a Michigan outbreak.
It was one of the first times Texas' full-court press defense really worked tonight, forcing Walton in that turnover.
Wagner drives inside, gets positioning on Claire, his right-handed scoop shot off the glass, and no good. Here's Jones, going to work off the dribble on Robinson. That's a weak spot for Michigan in the perimeter defense. However, he holds up to the challenge there. Eric Davis with it. Davis going to work on Wilson. Gets inside the paint, fires a high arcing shot from 3 feet out, hits the heel, and doesn't go through. Wagner with the board. 5:45 to go. Tech 36-45. Wolverines with the basketball, working right to left. Zach Irvin still looking for his first points of the game. He's 0 for 4 from the field. Not going to get a chance here as Walton's pass intercepted. He was looking for DJ Wilson, but the only man there was Davis.
And there was some miscommunication. He thought DJ Wilson would come back out more towards him, but instead he kind of stayed put, leading to that intercepted pass.
10 turnovers now for the Wolverines. Texas has really started to take care of the basketball. They have just 13 turnovers, and they had 12 when we talked about it 10 minutes ago. Another miss from up close by Andrew Jones, and the Wolverines continuing to live on the brink. Texas just not able to separate themselves. Irvin, a long two. Too strong, but Wagner there with the offensive board, grabbed around the neck. Tevin Mack called for the foul, and Wagner not happy with where that contact occurred. 16 fouls, so Michigan will be in the bonus the rest of the way with Texas's subsequent foul.
Checking in for the Longhorns.
Yeah, that was unnecessary by Tevin Mack to kind of reach on Moritz Wagner like that. Lucky it didn't turn out to be something worse.
Just the 2nd foul against Mack in this game. Surprised we haven't seen Jarrett Allen check back in. He has 4 fouls, but he's been on the bench for a while, and you wonder just how much him being out of this game is going to allow him to really regather himself when he's on the floor in crunch time. Under 5 minutes to go, Michigan leading or trailing 46-45. The Wolverines with the basketball. Wilson handles it in front of John Beilein. Now Moritz Wagner at the top of the key. The pass deflected. Robinson just not assertive to catching the basketball. He stuck one hand out and then hesitated to secure it. And it is the 11th turnover against the Wolverines now. They're really getting sloppy in the second half.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not exactly sure what Duncan Robinson was thinking right there. I mean, it was a perfect pass to him. Mo Wagner has the right to be pretty upset at Duncan Robinson. And you see John Beeline making a point, pulling Duncan Robertson, inserting back Muhammad.
7 second-half turnovers for the Wolverines, and they trail 46-45. 4.5 to go. Texas with the basketball. Eric Davis. Excuse me. That's Kerwin Roach. We need a first to Tevin Mack. Now Claire lowers the right shoulder, gets separation, and that's a grown man move from a grown man body over the sophomore Moritz Wagner. Shaquille Claire gets it to go, using all 275 pounds of that burly frame inside.
Yeah, Claire's got a lot of weight on Moritz Wagner. Not much Wagner could really do on that.
Moritz Wagner at the top of the key. Guarded by Claire, gives to Irvin. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Irvin, a three from the top of the key. Finally gets the scoring drought to come to a conclusion as he looks to the heavens. Thankful that one finally went through. Michigan and Texas are even at 48 apiece, and Irvin waving the crowd onto their feet.
Irvin's first make of the game might be a huge one. Michigan right back in this tight game.
He looked frustrated at times, and he let all the frustration out with that long three. Mack trapped, and he will use a timeout. Irvin claps towards the fans on the sideline. He's fired up. He forces that timeout. Texas with one remaining. It will turn into a full media timeout with 3:40 left to go in this one. It's 48-48, and it's another close game, another high-profile team coming into Ann Arbor and taking the Wolverines to the break. A huge triple, though, by Irvin pulled us back to even.
Yeah, I mean, Zach Irvin really quiet this entire game. Part of that shot was 0 for 5 with a couple bad turnovers. But finally, though, Zach Irvin gets this shot that it looks at the top of the key, and he hits it. And now that might be the biggest shot of the night for Michigan, because Michigan was really struggling to get any sort of points on offense. Now Michigan, with that three, the crowd is back in it, and Michigan now has a chance. I think for me, whoever makes the next 2 baskets on their side will win this game, because this is really showing you that the defense is sluggish.
Let's reset this game for you. It was a game Michigan has led for the most part. They led up until 6 minutes into the second half. We've now had 8 lead changes, all of those coming in the second half. Michigan and Texas both 19 made field goals. Both teams shooting poor from the field. Michigan at 43%, Texas at 40%. The difference being Michigan, a usually very good three-point shooting team, shooting just 33%. They're 6 of 18 from behind the arc. In addition, they're 57% from the free throw line, 4 of 7. Texas has made 5 of 6. And the Wolverines have turned the ball over 7 times in the second half. They've got to secure the basketball in these closing minutes.
Yeah, I agree. Michigan has been plagued by some bad turnovers this second half. 7, in fact. I mean, the first half was a whole different story. Texas was the one that looked all out of sorts, turning the ball over 10 times. But this half, it looks like they've settled down, turning the ball over only 3 times. I think the big difference, though, is that Michigan, the thing with that is that Michigan in the first half looked really good offensively, and then now it's really just kind of gone all out of sorts. And it's really looking like a defensive battle down to the very end.
3:40 left to go in regulation. Michigan and Texas deadlocked at 48 apiece. Texas with the basketball, 9 seconds on the shot clock. If you're Shaka Smart, what are you drawing up?
If you're Shaka Smart, I think you got to get the ball to your best guy, your best player, Tevin Mack. I think you look at, basically he's the only guy that's been able to get any sort of consistent offense for you throughout this entire game. Texas, without Tevin Mack, offense has really looked all out of sorts. With him off the floor, they can't get anything going. With him on the floor, it's really just him by himself out there doing whatever it takes to keep Texas in this game. I think in crunch time, you got to get the ball to your best player and just let him make a play.
Texas with the basketball on the floor for the Wolverines. Jared Allen back out there. He's got 4 fouls. His next one will send him to the bench and send this crowd into a frenzy. Tevin Mack to inbound. He's got Mack, Young, Roach, Allen, and Claire on the floor. Irvin deflected it. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Texas retains possession. 2, 1, going inside into the tall trees that are the Michigan interior defenders, and absolutely no chance of that shot finding the rim. Davis was rejected.
Michigan formed a wall down there in the paint. Just couldn't let Texas get anything.
Irvin driving baseline, kicks it up top to Wagner. His long 3 off the front of the rim, no good. Wilson had good position, but wasn't able to secure the board. Here's Kerwin Roach with it. He's got Allen, Claire, Jacob Young, and Tevin Mack on the floor. On the floor for the Wolverines, Irvin, Wagner, Wilson, Rockman, and Wilson. So it's the starters with the exception of Young on the floor for both sides. That hook shot from Claire from just outside the interior arc, no good. Michigan looking to break this deadlock of 48 all. Walton drives baseline and will dribble a full circle back to the top of the key. Now Irvin with it, guarded by Matt. Gets a good screen by Wagner. Steps inside from the right elbow, no good. And Claire there for the board. 2:20 left to go in this game. Michigan and Texas tied at 48 apiece. Texas looking for their first points in over 2 minutes. Again, Michigan in the bonus for the remainder. Just 2 team fouls against the Wolverines, however. Young up top to Davis at the block end. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Mack off a screen. Feeds it down low to Allen. And they call a foul on the floor. Wilson to get a bit too handsy there. It's the 3rd team foul against the Wolverines in this second half. And it's personal foul number 3 against DJ Wilson.
Yeah, luckily Michigan has a few fouls to give there. This one doesn't really impact it much.
Claire out, Davis in, so substituting speed in for size. The lone big man now for the Longhorns is Allen. Michigan with 2 bigs out there. Splitting the traffic and getting the lay-in to go is Kerwin Roach, adjusting his body in midair through the contact and gets it to go. Texas back comes up 50-48 with 1:45 to go. Wilson gives to Irvin. Irvin lobs it inside to Wagner, and once again, Michigan just not securing these good passes. Wagner hit it like a volleyball without ever corralling it. And that's turnover number 8 in this second half, 12 of the game.
Yeah, it's going to be incredibly frustrating if you're John Beilein. Several times, easy passes, and they just simply missed it. Again, this one, it would have been an easy bucket for Wagner had he thought it.
Michigan going with the full court press, forces the 4th and final timeout of the game for Texas. With 1:39 to go in this game, Texas with the basketball, they'll have to inbound and go the length of the court with a 50-48 lead, a minute 39 to play. You wonder if the pressure, Michigan knows how important this game is in terms of their non-conference resume. This is a game that could cost them a chance to go to the NCAA tournament. It's difficult for players to look that far ahead, but a game in December very likely could decide their fate come March. And you wonder if that's the cause for some of these miscues, because a lot of these turnovers haven't been forced by great defense. It's just Michigan not securing basic passes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm having a hard time understanding why Michigan has just looked so sloppy. It's not very typical of a John Beilein team to look really sloppy on offense, which is, I mean, John Beilein's specialty. Missing easy passes, dropping easy passes, not really getting into any sort of rhythm on offense. And now, coming 2 minutes left, shots haven't really been falling. You really just got to find that one bucket in there somewhere to tie this game or pull ahead. If you're Texas now, you have no timeouts left. If you're Shaka Smart, you got to talk to your team and you got to game plan out this last minute and 39 seconds as to what happens, because there are no timeouts left, and Texas has to get this inbound pass in now.
Out there for Texas, Mack, Young, Davis, Roach, and Allen. For the Wolverines, it's Wagner, Walton, Wilson, Rockman, and Irvin. 1:39 left to go in this game. Texas leading it 50-48, the possession arrow in their favor, and the basketball in their possession. Michigan going with a light full court press, but they won't force Roach to give the basketball to a teammate until he crosses midcourt, at which point he gives to Davis at the block M across the half-court stripe. Kevin Mack in the corner, dribbles up top. Guarded by Irvin. Now it's down low to Allen, going to work on Wagner. Wagner's got to be strong on that low block. He forces the outlet pass. Allen left all alone. A long triple hit the side of the rim, an ugly shot. Wagner down there. And Michigan with the possession. The buzzer doesn't matter. It's Michigan basketball. Working right to left, needing a basket here to tie up the game. A triple would give them the lead as we're under a minute to go. Wagner drives inside through contact. He stuffed it home, but it was well after the whistle. Michigan, though, in the bonus, 1-1, and Allen Knight is done. He will have to head to the bench, and the crowd will be happy to see him leave.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate foul for Allen. His night is done.
Give credit to Wagner as well,
Yeah,
aware of the situation.
Wagner has had some success driving to that rim, that spin move and driving to the rim. Now he heads to the free throw line. He's missed his first free throw. Now in crunch time to see if he can hit both of these free throws. Critical.
And the McDonald's All-American heads to the bench. 17 fouls against Texas. It's a 1-1 situation. However, Michigan has struggled all year from the free throw line, and this game very well could be decided by how well Michigan shoots with freebies, as they could see themselves at the line the rest of this game.
These two free throws are incredibly important, and Moritz Wagner has to hit both of these. He's not a bad free throw shooter, but never really had to take free throws in such a crunch time situation like this.
And it appears some more blood on the floor, leading to a delay. Texas out of timeouts, but they'll gladly take the breather. And yet another break that has gone the Longhorns' way. That's really out of either team's control.
No, Michigan still has 2 timeouts left. John Beeling can be selective in how he uses the game plan out this last minute.
And this has given a lot of time for Wagner to think about the front end of this 1-1. Texas leads 50-48 with 55.6 seconds left to go in regulation.
Wolverines, number 13, Wagner.
Really, this blood spillage that's in the painted area on that Big Ten logo has caused Wagner to think about this free throw a lot more than he should have had to. Not sure what they've been doing.
It's drawn this out a long time.
It's been nearly 2 minutes without playing basketball, and Texas without timeouts gladly will take it. Well, better safe than sorry, I suppose, but Wagner just wants to get these shots up. 55.6 seconds left in regulation time. Texas leads Michigan 50-48 as Shaka Smart looks to get a pivotal road victory in his second year leading the Longhorns. Finally, we're ready to get back underway. Wagner, the front end of the 1-1. And this is a big free throw. The crowd hushed. And he gets it to go, and a sigh of relief from the maize and blue faithful here at Chrysler Center.
Big free throw. Now this one's the most important one. Has to make this one a tie game.
Too strong off the heel of the rim. Texas with the basketball and the lead. Wagner not able to convert on the second. 49-50 the score. The Longhorns lead it. The crowd urging on the Michigan defense. 45 seconds to play. Walton with good defense. Guarding Kerwin Roach tightly. Roach still near midcourt. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Finally decides to drive inside. Gets to the defense. Good defensive position by Wagner. Forces the turnover. Wilson with it. Walton pushing the pace the other way. 1 second separation between the game clock and shot clock. Michigan trailing by 1. Here's Irvin at the top of the key. Drives inside, gets to the glass. His left-handed shot, no good. Wagner there for the putback, and he lays it off the glass with the left hand. Michigan back on top, 51-50. The shot clock turned off. Texas no timeout, and they call an off-ball foul, but Michigan had some to give.
A smart move by Derek Walton. And then, well, on that other end, an incredible job by Moritz Wagner grabbing that offensive rebound, putting that back. Michigan is ahead now.
Beilein wisely will not use his timeouts. Once again, Texas without timeouts, and now Beilein will choose to use one. I have to question that decision somewhat. Texas, a very young team. They lost 6 upperclassmen from last year's squad, and they have a few freshmen out there and a couple sophomores as well. What do you make Beilein giving the timeout to Shaka Smart, allowing them to drop a play?
I mean, it's clear that Beilein called this timeout because he wants to set up his defense for this final possession, but you're giving Shaka Smart, who is a brilliant basketball mind, a chance to draw up a play, give Texas a chance to compose a young Texas team to compose themselves and kind of get in the mentality for this final possession. If you're, definitely has some questions about this coaching decision, but ultimately, Beeline gets a chance to organize and set up his defense, which has been incredibly strong tonight.
It's only December 6th, but this is a possession that could ultimately decide the fate of this entire season. 14.1 seconds left to play. Michigan leads Texas 51-50. Texas with the possession arrow and the basketball. Michigan still with 14 fouls total in this second half. Wouldn't be surprised at all, though, Jeff, if I were you, to see them use some of those.
I would not be surprised if they have one more foul to get. They use that to try and kill some more time off the clock.
Michigan still with 2 fouls to give. Likely will use one relatively quickly and then force a late inbound. It's a 1-point game. Texas, no reason to shoot a 3. And Michigan, no reason to concede an easy bucket. You can foul as long as it's not in the act of shooting. 14.1 seconds to go. Michigan leads 51-50. Texas gets the inbound into Mack. Drives baseline. Wilson has good positioning. Mack nearly traveled with it. Instead, somehow got a pass off, and Irvin deflected it baseline out of bounds. 9.5 seconds left to go.
Great job by DJ Wilson. He's played incredible defense this entire game. Looked like a travel, but regardless.
Could have been a travel. We'll call it good body control because that's how the refs saw it. 9.5 seconds to go. Texas down by 1 with the basketball, trying to inbound it under their attacking basket. And Roach throws it off the chest of Walton Jr. out of bounds. Not a tenth of a second went off. They won't look at it though, so just bang bang, and we'll do it again. 9.5 to go. 9.5 ticks to go. An inbound, under 8 seconds. Davis with it, drives inside. Davis has a shot blocked by Wagner. Rockmont brings down the rebound. He's fouled driving across midcourt, and he will go to the line for the 1-and-1. 2.5 seconds to go. That's a possession that could define this season, and Michigan was up to the challenge.
Lawrence Wagner just won this game for the Michigan Wolverines with the game-winning layup on the other side of the net, and then a huge defensive stop on this side with a blocked shot.
Michigan can't seal the game from the line, but they can sure make it difficult, and they can force Texas to, at best, send it to overtime. It's 51-50, 2.5 seconds to go in regulation. Rockmont at the line for the front end of the 1-and-1.
Rockmont would be very nice if Robert can make both.
He gets the first to go. Texas without timeouts to intentionally miss it.
I think I'd go for the make and then just trust your defense.
To make it a 3-point game with 2.5 seconds to go. Rockmont second is up and through. Donnell in for Wagner, urging the crowd on their feet. 2.5 seconds left. Texas one last chance with a prayer to send this to overtime as they trail by 3. Mack elects not to be the inbounder. Instead, it'll be Shaquille Clare. You rarely see centers inbounding, but he will have that challenge. Wilson with the 7'3" wingspan, making it difficult. Gets it into Jacob Young from 3/4 court. Off the top end of the backboard, not good. And Michigan wins 53-50. They needed one, and finally things go the Wolverines' way. They get a marquee win at home in non-conference play over the Longhorns, and that sets up a date with UCLA on Saturday. Jeff, your final thoughts on tonight's game?
This is a great game overall. Michigan's defense really stepped up to the plate to got just enough offense in the end. Key contributions by DJ Wilson and Moritz Wagner. Michigan pulls out its win with a marquee non-conference win, a nice resume builder for when it comes to NCAA tournament time.
That's going to do it from Chrysler Center on behalf of our spotter, Jeremy Parks, our first half crew of Will Yang and Andrew Hausman, our color commentator, Jeff Chan. I am Leo Glavin. From Ann Arbor, we wish you a good night and go blue. The final score, Michigan 53, Texas 50 on the Michigan Basketball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM, Ann Arbor.